Hey everyone, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about episode 4. Obviously, it was amazing and it's incredibly book accurate. So, I don't really have a ton of notes for episode 4 because it was so great. I'm gonna gush a little, but hopefully not too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with negative like I always do, because I like to end positive. Just gonna scooch this closer. Um, my negative is still Moraine, but like I said in the last video, it is book accurate. Moraine is being kind of annoying and manipulative in the books at this point as well. So I'm not saying that it's bad that they did this. It's just like as a viewer, it gets on my nerves, but as a reader, it also gets on my nerves. So, um, just Moraine, her viewpoint on Rand at this moment. I think what gets me about Moraine, and this is book as well, is that no one really understands the dragon and all the prophecies and what the dragon's supposed to do, and then Moraine is like so confident that she knows what to do and Rand doesn't when like everyone's trying to figure it out. So it's kind of frustrating to me that she's like, no, I'm the expert, when there isn't actually an expert about the dragon because everything's kind of been lost throughout the ages. So that's what kind of bothers me, is that she's just so confident that she knows everything already when she actually really doesn't. Like, no one really knows. And Rand's just kind of going along and trying to figure it out as he goes. And I think he should have the space to try to figure it out, is what I feel like. So yeah, this wasn't the best. Like, I'm glad that it's book accurate, but she's still kind of annoying me. The next one is kind of positive negative. Like, I do understand why they changed this. Because it would be a little much for Moraine, Rand, and Matt all to be in Ruidian at the same time. In the book, they solve this by not telling you anything about Moraine's trip. And I do get that they have to give Moraine a bigger role. So, just a little quick negative. I miss Matt in these scenes. I wish he was here, but I do understand why they did this change. Of all the changes, this one doesn't bother me quite as much. It will bother me if he doesn't go through the doorways or doorway. I don't care if they put them together, but um, it does. I am a little sad. Like, watching this episode, I was just like, I like this episode so much, but I do miss Matt being here. And so I chose this shot just because it shows the tree and you know what happens to Matt in Rodian. I don't have to talk about it. This one I feel like I can keep spoiler free, except for obviously the chapter that this covers. And the last negative is probably going to be solved next episode. I don't really get this part, what this is supposed to be. So I have like my suspicions, but again, I won't voice them just in case I have any new book readers. But I don't really get this part. I'm sure it's going to be explained next episode, so I might as well just wait until I see the next episode to like go through this part. I don't get it, but that's okay. Like, maybe next episode it'll be explained. Let's go through the positives, because I'd much rather be positive than negative. So here we have Rand chatting with Lan, and he explains the Flame and Void, which is just so amazing. I love that he explains this. It's like the showrunners did have a tough task, because obviously we can't be in people's heads like they are in the books. So it does make sense that this conversation had to happen, and I was really excited when it did. And I just excited in general for Rand to be chatting with Lan about something. I'm sorry about this picture, it wasn't very good. I was just trying to get the line at the bottom, and then I didn't look at Rand's face, so I apologize for that one. Next positive is just Avienda's whole thing. It's so nice to see her storyline. It's so nice to kind of get her backstory that she's Maiden of the Spear, who was called to be a wise one and then kind of ran away from her responsibilities. I just really like how Anise explained it and everything, so I'm really excited about all of this. And yeah, just to get to know Avienda better, hopefully, in the next couple episodes. We're halfway through this season, which is so weird. Same thing with Ruark. It was so nice to kind of chat with him, for Rand to get to know him a bit, because he's so important in the books. Seeing the dragon and just seeing Ruark be his Mr. Clan Chief. Also, I don't think I even mentioned, like, in the previous episodes, I think I just in general said I liked the Aiel stuff, but like him meeting his wives was just like so cute. I think it was just one of them though. Him meeting his wife was just like adorable. I love Shade of My Heart. That's just, that phrase is just so beautiful and cute. Um, it's in this episode too, with one of Rand's past lives. Next one is we meet Savannah. Love her look, love her kind of vanity, indulgence, overdressing kind of vanity, which you don't see in anyone else really, because she's very un-Aiel-like. So I really enjoyed this outfit of hers and Couladin's, annoyingness. So it's just, I really enjoyed seeing them on screen, and I think they chose to do her exactly right, so that was really cool. Which brings me to the next one, which the picture has Savannah, so it's a perfect like cue in, but I'm so glad they took this line straight from the book. Couladin is like getting all up in arms, and Anise is like, do you want to be a wise one? You could put on a dress and we'll make you a wise one if you could get through our training. It's just so funny. And this is exactly from the book. It's word for word. And that just is like my in general take, is a lot of these lines. So these two as well are taken exactly straight from the book. And that just fills my heart with joy. I'm so grateful for that. This episode, the whole episode, was very book accurate. A lot of lines just taken straight from the page. But I will say this, this being very book accurate, word for word, it does kind of make me annoyed, because why couldn't we get this earlier? Like, there's so many amazing scenes in the series, and we've already done like 3 books. Why couldn't we get these book accurate things earlier? Because there are people who love this series who've given up on this series because of how much they've changed things. And now they've given up and they're not watching this season because they're upset about the other ones. And it just makes me sad, because they've made this season more book accurate, but they've lost people already because they don't trust that it'll be book accurate. So they're not seeing this season because they've kind of given up already. So it just makes me a little upset. If you're going to be book accurate, why didn't you kind of start with this attitude of book accurateness? So like, what changed, I guess, is my question. What changed from seasons 1, 2, and 3, from 1 and 2 to 3, that you like chose to become more book accurate? Will that continue, or will you just go back to changing a bunch of stuff, is my question. So it's an amazing episode. That doesn't take away from this episode. It just makes me curious. Is this like a turning point? So from now they're going to be more book accurate? Or is this just that Rafe likes this book, so he'll keep to this book, but he won't keep to others? So I'm just kind of curious about that. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Then we have the story of King Lawman. So I do love this little backstory, and then they took time. They kind of slowed things down. They took time to explain the story of King Lamed. That was really, really cool. I like that a lot. And so I should have gotten a different picture here, but it was cool. That whole conversation I liked. Yeah. And then we're almost done. We just have all of the columns. So let's just go through these. We have Rand's father. We have the Aiel going into Meridian for the first time. By the way, whoever this actress is, who's this wife, it was really, really good. I really liked her a lot. This is the one that probably hit me the hardest, was the story of the Aiel taking up spears for the first time, and the mother saying this line, and this is why Aiel cover their faces when they kill. In the books as well, this is the one that hits me the hardest, and in the show it was no different. Like this life, past life of, I shouldn't say past life, because it's not a past life, it's an ancestor. This ancestor's story was just so impactful to me. Next one was that guy's grandfather, I believe. That one didn't hit quite as much. And then his 2 Age of Legend lives. The one where he's tasked to bring the artifacts. This one was very interesting because in the books it just kind of is a misunderstanding almost. Like from the way I read it is that like they're trying to protect the Aiel, not the Ter'angreal. But the Aiel kind of misunderstand, and then the Ter'angreal become more important than the people, which is just like the amazing tragedy of it. And then we have the boar, Lanfear going into the boar and releasing the Dark One. So it's just really cool to see. It's like one of those things when you read it, you're like, oh, what are they going to do with this? Kind of thing. And it did not disappoint. It was very, very cool. And the same thing with the rings. Obviously in the books the rings aren't shown. They're just kind of talked about later, and some of it, I'm trying to think, yeah, they're just talked about later. So it's really cool to see these. And I just captured this one, swearing herself to the Dragon Reborn. So it's really cool. So I'm just really grateful that we got to see this episode, and we'll end on He Who Comes with the Dawn. Just very impactful, and just when Moiraine wakes up and sees Rand, and she obviously sees him very differently. I'm excited to see what that'll be like in the next episode. So that's about it for this one. It's a little bit of a shorter one, just because I really liked it and I don't have as many notes. So let's go on to episode 5. I will see you next week.